So yesterday, Larry Hoover was commuted on a federal level by President Donald Trump. For people who don't understand what that means that basically, and we talked about this in Front Page News this morning, his charges on the federal level will be like excused or overlooked, but anything else you're still dealing with, you still have to deal with. And Larry Hoover is very much so still dealing with a 200-year sentence for murder on the state level.
State level, right.
Yeah, state level.
So he's not free.
No, he's not.
So people were saying welcome home and all that. He is not free.
No, he is not coming home. He is not walking out. Ain't no welcome home Larry Hoover parties.
I didn't even know what it meant. That's why I text you on the group line. What is commutation or what is commute?
Yes.
He was moving him from one person to the other. I didn't know.
Right.
Yeah, Chance the Rapper was one of the people who actually posted online. He didn't understand what was happening. Let's take a listen.
Hey, before I let y'all politicize this or memify this, I just gotta say I am glad that Larry Hoover's home. And I gotta remind y'all that he was a political prisoner that was set up by the federal government, that he created the Chicago votes. He did so many things to really mobilize our people, and he was really targeted for that. And so before get to cooning or doing whatever they finna do with this information, I just want to say I'm so glad that he's home, and God bless his family, and yeah, thank God.
Chance hurt my feelings because that's just spreading such misinformation, and Chance is way smarter than that.
Yes.
You know, he if you just read a little bit more Chance, you would know he's not coming home. But that just lets me know all Chance did was read the headlines.
Yeah.
Or saw Jay Prince's post. Jay Prince of Laugh a Lot. Over in Houston.
Rap a lot.
Rap a lot. Sorry, Rap a lot.
This has to stop.
He don't even laugh.
Rap
a lot.
Now this is disgusting.
This is crazy.
This is
Rap a lot.
Rap a
You
lot.
gotta grow up.
Rap a lot.
Laugh a lot.
Sorry, y'all. Okay.
my
My bad.
God
OGs, my
damn,
bad.
yo.
OGs. Rap a lot posted yesterday, and when he posted, his caption literally said, Larry Hoover has been pardoned by Donald Trump. So even when I posted it and people were upset, I posted it exactly with what Jay Prince said, because I knew people were going to be upset about it, because it doesn't mean that he's walking out of
That's not even accurate.
anywhere today or tomorrow.
He wasn't pardoned.
He was commuted.
Yeah.
So to explain a bit really quick who Larry Hoover was, he was the co-founder of the Gangster Disciples, which was a Chicago-based gang that, according to police, engaged in drug trafficking, extortion, and murder, which is why he's going through everything he's going through right now.
Right.
Now, we talked to Larry Hoover's son because I was trying to get clarification for you guys on what this actually means and what the state level looks like for Larry Hoover right now. There was so much misinformation going around with a lot of people thinking that, what we saw yesterday with Trump and everything that was announced with Larry Hoover meant that your dad was going to walk out of, federal prison and, be clear of everything today, like right now.
Right. So I've been speaking on this anytime I was interviewed, and I was trying to let people know that he was being held under dual jurisdiction, which is he's been held under state law and he has been held under federal law all at the same time. So he still had two cases to fight. So he had to fight the federal case and he still had to fight the state case. So now he's dealing with the state case. I don't really know the law on it. I heard that it was illegal to help hold a person under dual jurisdiction, which they don't usually do, but they never uplifted the state case when they took him into federal custody. So now we're dealing with state law now.
So I know that you guys have like this movement that you're trying to do where when it comes to the state things, you guys are asking for like local leadership that would actually be able to do anything to, is it like lessen the sentence, or what are you asking for on the state level?
Okay, so my father is actually a C number, and C numbers were because, people have a misunderstanding of everything that's going on. People are talking about the narrative of who they say my father is and what he has done. We're going back to his state case, and he was sentenced as a C number. A C number were men that were sentenced in the 70s, and they gave him indeterminate sentences. So his sentence was to be at least 200 years, and he has to go to the parole board every, it was supposed to be every year, and when we went to court last, they wanted to make it 5 years, but the lawyers fought and they made it 3 years. So the C numbers go to the parole board. They don't have a determined amount of time. They go to the parole board and it's up to them to decide whether they deserve to be paroled. And when my father went to be paroled last time, they said that he didn't do what they needed him to do, even though he was in the ADX, and it was no way possible for him to do the things that they needed him to do. They were saying like, oh, you didn't take classes, you didn't do this to try to show that you was thankful and that you regret what you did, but at the same time, he's locked in a closet underground in Colorado.
And then when I posted it online, I knew that the natural pushback would be, but this man is responsible for, like I mentioned, there is alleged drug trafficking, extortion, and murder. Mm-hmm. So I asked his son, like, this is how people feel. They feel like we're glorifying someone who caused all of these things in the community. What do you say to that? And here's what he said.
People that say that, they don't understand who he is. They're listening to the narrative of people that don't know what they're talking about. Can they tell you people that he has caused to be killed, or that he has said kill or killed himself? He's been in prison all of this time. Right now, we're fighting a state case that happened when he was 22 years old, when he was a baby. And they said that he gave the call for somebody to be murdered. And his rappy on the case said that he did the murder and he was released. That's what we're fighting with right now, right? The stuff that those people are talking about are hearsay, rumors. I'm not saying that my father wasn't in leadership at one point and wasn't involved in the streets, but he's had transformation. He was a illiterate, dyslexic child when he went to jail. He taught himself how to read. He taught himself how to become a man. He educated himself. He went to college. He became a paramedic. He taught classes, but he went in as a dyslexic kid. He couldn't read. And he taught himself. Nobody taught him. Like, people are speaking of who they think he is and what the rumors of him are. They don't know who he is. They need to they need to hear real information instead of listening to rumors that have been passed around the city. See, we fighting the monster, the picture that they painted, but they don't know anything about Larry Hoover. If they knew about Larry Hoover, they would understand that he wants the same thing that these people want. He's not for kids dying in the streets. He's not for ladies being raped and harmed. He's not for, man, he's a peaceful individual. He's for everything for Black people.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining us. And what's your call to action? I saw something on the live yesterday. You guys were tagging. Who's the person you guys are tagging? Is it the governor, mayor?
Yeah, it's at Governor Pritzker. That's his Instagram, and then his Gmail is governor@illinois.gov. We want to reach out to Governor Pritzker to ask him to sign the paper to give my father a second chance at life. We're fighting a case from when he was 22 years old, in which his rappy said that he committed the crime and he was released. We shouldn't be fighting the rumors. We should be fighting what the real situation is. That was the problem in the first place. If the law applied, he would have been released because of the law. Everybody that was on his case with him, they was released because of the First Step Act, because the time didn't amount for the time that they gave him. And all of his rappies were released. But because he was Larry Hoover, they didn't agree with the law. And I have to thank Donald Trump for going above the law to give my father an opportunity. And now, as far as the state case is concerned, can we please follow the law? We're supposed to believe in justice. And if we're supposed to believe in justice and follow the law needs to work for us. And our governor says he believes in transformation. He believes in rehabilitation. He believes in redemption. And my father has rehabilitated himself. He has transformed from the young man that he once was. And he deserves redemption. He's been there. Imagine living in a closet for 30 years. Close your eyes and go in your closet and stay there. Can you stay there for 30 years? You don't think he's regretful for what he did? Do you think he would be interested in coming back to the world and being a part of criminology? He's a senior. He's an elderly man. This picture behind me is not who he is right now.
Larry Hoover is not there's no welcome home Larry Hoover parties today or tomorrow. It's not happening. They're trying to get things handled on a state level. But even if so, what I think and what they're trying to do is they want less. They know that there's no way that he's going to walk free 100%, but they want less. They feel like it's over excessive. And as you heard his son say, they feel like he's a changed person now. He should be looked at as that.
Okay. Yeah, 200 years in prison is crazy. But I can't see it happening only because of who the governor is. The governor is J.B. Pritzker. He's a Democrat.
Yeah, they trying to put some, I guess, pressure on him, get the public to start writing letters and things like that. But
JB don't give a damn.
They were online yesterday on Instagram Live. I was on there. They was on there for about an hour getting people to tag him and saying call his office. And I'm like, I don't know if that's going to work because Larry Hoover was such a big name. The case was such a big thing. Like, I don't know if he cares. And then, yeah.
Okay.
So that's it.
Well, that is the latest with Loren. You heading to court now?
Yes.
All right. All right, well, she'll give us an update later on what happened in the Diddy trial. Everybody else, let's get to the mix, the People's Choice Mix. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up. Early in the morning. The Breakfast Club.